In ancient times, sacrifice was necessary to keep the gods happy. It wasn't uncommon to kill an animal or even a person to appease the gods, to keep them happy, to keep away disease and ensure that the crops were watered. In fact, it seems that the only time the gods were ever happy was when blood was flowing. That was thousands of years ago, before we knew how the world actually worked, back when ignorance was the norm. Sacrifice that would take away the sin and appease the gods. The whole of Christianity rests on the concept of original sin, the idea that everyone is inherently sinful by default and receives the sins of their ancestors in addition to the ones that they commit. In other words, you are guilty automatically simply by the virtue that you exist. Christianity is an offshoot of Judaism, in which the God, Yahweh, took great joy in the death and destruction of everything he created in 6 days. The things he made and called good, their burning flesh pleased him. According to Christianity, these animal sacrifices in Judaism were necessary to take away sin, but it was only a temporary fix. There needed to be another sacrifice, an ultimate sacrifice, a human sacrifice that would permanently alleviate sin. That sacrifice, they claim, was Jesus, and he died to take away the sins of the world. For premise 1, let's assume for a second that the hypothetical Christian God exists, and that he has all the attributes that Christians credit him with. He is all-powerful, he knows everything, and he is everywhere at once. For premise 2, let's assume that he is a benevolent God that wants everyone to go to heaven. This brings us to the concept of forgiveness. God is the one that forgives sin. If we are forgiven, then we can go to heaven. But Christianity asserts that we cannot simply be forgiven of original sin, not without the sacrifice of Jesus Christ. So for all the intellectual Christians out there, here's the problem. You have ascribed your God with the quality of omnipotence, meaning that he can do whatever he sets out to do without fail. We've established that he wants us to go to heaven. Why can your God simply not forgive? Why does there have to be a sacrifice? To say that God needs a sacrifice in order to forgive is to place a rule on your God that is stronger than your God, that dictates he must accept a sacrifice in order to forgive. He is bound by a universal law that is stronger than him. In other words, you've just limited the power of your own God. If you say that he does not need a sacrifice in order to forgive, and that he can forgive us any time he wants, then great. Why didn't he? Why did he dictate so many animals be killed and so many people die in the Old Testament to provide a Savior? Why did he have his own son murdered if he didn't need that sacrifice anyway to forgive? Why is he sadistic? In other words, by saying that he can forgive at any time, you have indirectly admitted that he is not benevolent. And then your sacrifice of Jesus Christ becomes obsolete anyways.